Need to buy a vowel. I need an A. Anyone got an A? Today we're going to be creating a piece of abstract art. It's going to be really, really simple, and I love the fact that it's abstract so it can look like anything. One of the main things you're going to need is sort of a whack load of acrylic paints. And this is a great time to sort of, if you have a lot of these lying around, to sort of use up the odds and ends that you have it, because we'll just be squirting it all over the canvas. So next thing we're going to need is one of these canvas boards. Let me just show you what I mean. It's a big sort of wooden canvas that you can get from most art supply stores. And the great thing is that everything's pre-done and it's a nice hard surface to work on. Other things you're gonna need simply around the house, everyone's gonna have a rolling pin, okay? A clear plastic drop cloth, or in this case, these are just clear plastic garbage bags that we've stripped out. And then a whole bunch of white spray paint. Now you can use different colors of spray paint, but in this case we're using white, and you'll kind of see why we're using that in the end. Also, we're going to be using these vinyl adhesive letters. These you can get from most office supply stores, like those big box supply stores. They come in a variety of sizes. We're going to go with the biggest size because we have a large canvas. Now from here, this is where the abstract comes in. This is the fun part. We're just going to get our acrylics. We're going to create a color story, maybe some blues, some purples, and some reds. Think about the color story you want to say. You don't want to have a lot of blacks, I don't think, because the blacks will start to overpower the image in the end. And from here, once we have our color story, I'm going to be doing purples and reds and blues. We're ready to start squeezing on the canvas. Again, abstract. Here we go. This is what I mean by abstract. Nothing, there's no rhyme, there's no reason. We're just kind of working quickly, right? This actually is a lot of fun. Also, you want to do this, maybe not necessarily on the dining room table, somewhere where there might be a drop cloth, because if acrylic paint does get somewhere, you don't want to be ruining your furniture. Maybe some more purples. Okay. For now, I'm just sort of trying to create sort of different colors that are going to sort of blend around. I'm trying to keep the color scheme sort of in the reds and blues. Okay, so we have a generous amount of paint on our canvas right now. Now here comes the drop cloth. What we're gonna do is we're gonna place the drop cloth over top of our canvas, okay? And this here, you can use a plastic drop cloth. This one here is just a clear plastic garbage bag that we cut. And the reason we're doing this is because we're gonna get our rolling pin, okay? And here's where the magic starts. We're gonna start rolling it out, and you can see, see, that's where the cool stuff is. All this stuff is sort of happening in here. And the rolling pin, depending on how hard you press the rolling pin and how much pressure you put and the direction that you're squeezing it, we're gonna start to blend all these colors together. It almost looks like, when you're a little kid and you sort of play around with plasticine and you start to meld it around, or like dough or something like that. And it starts to create these really cool sort of, these melded shapes. It's awesome. Also, there's a lot of places here where we still have exposed wood. No worry, we can do this. Peel it back, insert some more paint, right? And roll it out again. See that? Now, the thing with this project, you want to make sure is that we want pretty well all the wood to be covered. So you can, this little square that's happening right here is really, really good. So we can kind of leave this area. Maybe I'm going to work on what's happening up here, because I think I want a little more coverage. So let's add, okay, that's gone. Let's go here, let's go to this one. All right. And put some blue in here. And again, so you can see I'm working kind of quickly here, right? So, because it is acrylic paint, it will dry relatively fast. And again, don't worry if you get kind of paint all over the roller like this. Put it back on the canvas. And you can see, that's why I was saying, make sure you're doing this in an area where it's not going to matter if you get paint somewhere. because it will. I love a messy environment. As you can see, I always have paint all over my hands. So for me, I don't care, paint drips all over the floor, which is great. But if you've got expensive hardwood in your living room, you want to be careful. So if you've got a basement or a garage or something like that, this would be awesome. Okay. I just added sort of a new color in the corner here, this sort of green, which was unexpected. I think it's kind of cool. So I think I'm going to bring more green in here. Yeah, look how cool that is. Remember I was saying about abstract? See, it's like, there's nothing really intentional about it. It's just sort of, it's just happening. And again, you don't want to really overwork it too much. We want to work it so it's all covered. We don't want to blend the colors so much that they sort of become mud, right? You still want to sort of be able to define sort of certain colors and areas. We've got some really great stuff happening up in here, where you get some solid color happening. You know, down into here, you can sort of see where the blues and the reds are starting to meld together to create another color, which is okay. But again, you don't want to overwork it. We want sort of these strong pieces coming through. At this point, when you are working with it, by all means, you can always, because it is clear, you can kind of see what's happening. We can always peel it back and have a little look. I think maybe these corner bits here can get a bit more of a go. I think at this point, I'm going to peel the plastic off and reveal what we have. Ah, awesome. Look how cool that is. Yeah, that's cool, right? So from there, we have a piece of abstract art. You can let this dry, hang it, call it a day, call a museum and sell it. But we're gonna let this dry for at least 24 hours. We want it to be really, really dry. Then we're gonna go to stage 2, putting on the printed word and our spray paint. So at this point, gonna leave it. We'll be back in a bit. Okay, so this piece now is completely dry, and you really want it to be fully dry and feel all the areas. Now I think I'm gonna work on the floor here. There's more surface area, but first I need a drop cloth, and then we'll get to our inspirational quote. So we need to prep our area first. Okay, so we have our canvas board. Gonna layer down. So we've got all our supplies. Now what we have to do is, the letters that we're going to use are 6-inch letters. So I think what we're going to do is, my saying's going to be abstract is an idea, which I think is kind of fun, because it's an abstract piece. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tape down exactly where I want the bottom of the letter to be. Tape it down, it's easy to follow. There, so we got everything taped out. Now we have to adhere our letters. So I'm going to start with my first word here, which is abstract. So we just take our A, peel it off, and place it down. There. Now you can sort of, because they are adhesive letters, you can have a few goes at it. And you don't really want to push it down too hard because we will be peeling it off in the end. So just sort of gently lay it down, make sure it's lightly adhered, and we're good to go. Make sure that your spelling is right the first time. Okay, so the last letter is in place now. And you want to make sure, you can sort of see little areas up in here where the C has a bit of an air pocket. You'll want to smooth that out, and the A is kind of popping up a bit. Just with your finger, that's basically where the acrylic underneath was a little thicker, a little heavier, right? So again, we don't want to like really force them down, but we also don't want them popping up because we're going to be spray painting this. We don't want the spray paint to bleed underneath. I mean, if it does a little bit, that's okay. And from here, we can remove the tape. Okay. And once the tape is removed, we can clean up our area, and then let's prep for the spray paint. Okay, so at this point, we're ready to go. So what we're gonna do here, I'm gonna flip this over so you can see it a little bit better. There we go. Again, make sure all the letters are down. So with the spray paint, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do some soft, even strokes going back and forth. I basically want it to fade. So I want this top part to be almost white, and then I want it to slowly fade down to the bottom. And so all those sort of colors are gonna come through. What we're gonna do at the very end is then peel back the letters, which will reveal all the color underneath. So again, you wanna do this really well ventilated area, outside preferably, in a garage, door open, that kind of thing. I'm in my industrial space, so there's a lot of ventilation here. So we're all good. That's it. Ready to go? So when you're painting, you want to make sure that you're not constantly holding the trigger down. You want to just sort of like slowly go back and forth. And we don't want to have pools of paint. We just want to have a really soft mist of paint. So that's why we're just sort of slightly going. We can always add more, but it's hard to take away. So basically when you're doing this, I think maybe whatever your last letter is, I kind of think you want I guess the word to be somewhat recognizable, but at the same time, it's kind of nice that it'll fade away a bit. So as you can see here, the word idea, I just want it to be just light, have a very light coat of white. Okay, so from here what we can do, I just want to see how the bottom is reacting. So I'm just going to come up here and peel back a bit of the letter. Yeah, see the difference? I won't continue with the bottom anymore. And I'm definitely happy with the top. So now we can reveal all the letters. Peel them back. For this, you want to have a very fine blade. I want to do it while the paint is still wet. I don't want the spray paint to completely dry. That way the letters may adhere to it. So as you can see here, very gingerly peel it back and reveal the letter. I think this is an awesome looking project. So for this project, you can use these vinyl letters that we have here, or there's you can get adhesive vinyl. You can get that at most art supply stores, and even a lot of office supply stores. And you can sort of cut shapes out, stars, moons, hearts, whatever you want, and do the same sort of thing with the with images as well. But in this case, I think the printed word is really cool. And the printed word is really trendy right now. So it's coming along really well. Okay. Wow, here's the last letter. Awesome. What do you think? I think it looks fantastic. So you can see, like, you could do any sort of printed word. I like the fact that you're getting this really sort of faded sort of quality in here. You can see how the acrylic is sort of moved around. You're getting these really cool subtle colors, but the letters are what really, really pop, and that's what I love, is that you're getting all this sort of activity behind, but you don't really know what it is. Is it a painting of something? You have no idea because it's been covered over. And then here you're just getting a really soft sort of subtle bleed. And from there, we can hang it up. Lean against the wall. It's pretty well dry. The spray paint dries almost right away. And again, you can do this any color. The abstract stuff behind is really, really cool. I think it's awesome, just the way it is. You could even, if you wanted to, you could varnish it if you really want to sort of have that high sheen on it, but I just love it the way it is. Hope you guys enjoyed the abstract art as much as I did. Send me some photos of your abstract pieces. I'd love to see them, comment on them, and we'll see you real soon in the studio.